Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Tonight's topic is going to be practice radical acceptance. Think about that for a minute. If you like the content, guys, please subscribe. So I'm going to jump right into it. What is radical acceptance? This is something that you will need to learn how to practice on the healing path post-narcissistic relationship. It will certainly benefit you, and you probably have already practiced radical acceptance without even knowing it. What it is it's understanding that you can't change the outcome of something. You can't change the reality, such as, let's say that there was a death in the family or a loved one. Well, you can't make that person come back to life. They've left the planet and they're now in a better place. At least that's my hope. But understanding that they're actually not here on the planet with you, that's a difficult pill to swallow. I understand completely. I have much experience in that, practicing radical acceptance since I was 16 years old. Having said that, this is something that is not easy to practice. It takes patience, it takes insight, it takes fortitude, strength, commitment, and most importantly, it takes understanding. You see, you can only control what you can control on this planet. That's why many times I mention stay within yourself, stay focused, live in the moment, do what you can do. You can't control other people. And using this example I mentioned a moment ago, if somebody exits the planet, let's say that they died or something happened, there's nothing we can do about that. So practicing radical acceptance, that's one example. Another would be, let's say that you're in a job and the job was going great and you were making a lot of money or whatever, you loved it, and all of a sudden you're not there any longer for some reason. Maybe you got fired. My hope is you didn't. But let's say you got fired, or they downsized, or something happened, you got laid off, whatever it was. Well, you've been at that job for 10, 20, 30 years and you love it, and you've made great friends there and you're part of the family and all that, but no longer are you a part of it. That practicing radical acceptance there would be another way, because you said, yes, you want to be there, you love the job, but for some reason you're not there. And understanding, coming to grips with that, that's practicing radical acceptance. Now, moving on to the narcissistic relationship. If the narcissistic relationship ended recently for you, my heart goes out to you. I understand this is a path you are on. It's not a race. It will take time. And in your time, you will heal. With the help of my channel and many others, and again, thank you very much for being here, you are getting educated. You're becoming awakened and aware. And here, for this video, you will need to look into practicing radical acceptance when you are ready. I'm not suggesting that you do this today. And maybe you're well on the healing path and you have practiced this. If you have, drop comments below. The point is this. Number one, when the narcissistic relationship ended, you didn't even understand what narcissism was, most likely. So you had to get educated, certainly on YouTube and Google, and probably read books or talked to a therapist, whomever. The point is understanding narcissism is one whole huge issue. It's a huge topic. It's like you're going to college all over again. You need to understand. That's for a whole separate series of videos. I'm just mentioning that. But understanding also that along the healing path, there will be highs, there will be lows, there will be good days, maybe not so good days, because the healing path is not linear. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time to heal properly. And you need to get educated. Now, there will be a moment in time on the healing path when you're going to say to yourself, wow, radical acceptance, I think I'm ready to begin practicing this, or at least to learn about it. So here we are. What it is you're going to have to come to terms that you were with a narcissist, whatever length of time you were in the relationship, or maybe they're a sibling or somebody like that. If they're a narcissist, it's going to take some practice. You're going to have to understand, wow, they're not who I thought they were, and they don't benefit me at all. Actually, they want to take from me, and every time I see them, I get anxiety, or I can just feel my energy being drained out of me, or you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go through a list of examples there. The point is once this relationship has ended, or when you understand that they are a narcissist, practicing radical acceptance will help you to understand exactly that, yes, this in fact did happen. It's real. You didn't want it to happen. You didn't want to be in a narcissistic relationship, but you were, and you were manipulated, and you were taken advantage of. And you had no idea, because you didn't know what narcissism was. So this is a huge spider web of manipulation, of lies, deceit, destruction, and taking advantage of people that the narcissist spins. It's exactly what happens. Once you're out of it and you're coming to grips with, wow, what kind of relationship was that? I just got discarded, or I just, like, they don't talk to me. Like, what is that? I don't get it. Okay, then you understand, you get the definitions. But practicing radical acceptance is you coming to terms that, number one, that relationship wasn't even close to what you thought it was, because you probably thought you were in a healthy, loving, reciprocal relationship. You weren't. You were in a one-way relationship that did not benefit you. It benefited the narcissist exclusively. And you kept on fighting for that relationship while you were in it. You kept on hanging on to little breadcrumbs of hope, hoping to get back to the love bomb stage, or hoping to have a couple good days in a row, of which, let's be real, it didn't happen. Because as soon as things were going well, boom, there was an avalanche, a tidal wave of destruction and manipulation coming your way. You were being blamed for things you didn't do. You were being gaslit, stonewalled, given the silent treatment, ghosted. The list goes on and on. But when that happened, you continued to fight for the relationship and for yourself to a point. What I'm saying is, once you understand all these things, you have to practice radical acceptance that the relationship did not benefit you. You may think and or thought that the relationship benefited you, and you may think and or thought that, wow, I do want to be in this relationship even though I'm being abused. It's the trauma bond, which is a whole different video. But my point is, once you actually are real and authentic with yourself, and you actually come to terms and say, yes, I need to practice radical acceptance because I know that relationship was toxic. I know I ignored red flags. I know I didn't trust my instincts or intuition, and I continued to stay in the fog working for the narcissist. Once you do that, or things similar like that, that's when you're going to begin to practice radical acceptance. That's when you get a big light bulb moment. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually being real with myself. I'm being honest. And yeah, the relationship, it didn't benefit me. And it's remarkable how I stayed in it that long. I can't get over this. Things like that. But radical acceptance, it's something that, like I said, you may have experienced it already in the past. If a loved one has passed, or you've lost a job or something like that, and there are other reasons you could practice radical acceptance. But this is a necessary step on the healing path in narcissistic abuse recovery, in my opinion, because you need to do so many things to understand exactly what kind of relationship you were in, that narcissism does exist on the planet, that your relationship for X period of time was not about you, it was about what you offered, and that these people, they blend in with everyone else on the planet. It's what they do. And how could you have not known about this till, let's say, a couple months ago? Well, I'll tell you how. Because you had never experienced it, and there was no reason for you to know about it, because most likely you were conversing with or in relationships with healthier individuals, people that cared about you, for the most part. But what I'm saying is practicing radical acceptance, please look into it, understand what I'm talking about, get educated, look it up, go on the internet and check out more definitions about it and understand, but it's really necessary. And I can tell you firsthand, I practiced it, and it wasn't easy. It was very difficult. It was about what, I'll tell you when it was for me. When I practiced it, that's when I first understood this, that I am exactly where I'm meant to be on this planet in this moment in time. And I remember, I created a video on this a little while ago, but I remember saying to myself, no, I don't belong here. Absolutely not. I belong somewhere else. And I was in denial. This is after I got discarded. I was in denial. I was saying, no, I don't belong here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be isolated during C-19, during the holidays, all by myself. No. And I've educated myself each and every day, countless hours, nonstop. And then one day I looked into radical acceptance, and I'm like, wow, that actually is real. And I need to look into this. And then at that moment, it took me a little while. It took me a couple hours to think about it. And then I put it on I just put it on the back burner. And then I listened again to some words saying that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And it resonated with me. I was like, you know what, I am. And I don't want to be here. I am at the lowest point in my entire life. But this is where I am. And I can't change it. And then I had a light bulb moment. Guess what? Radical acceptance. That's how I discovered it. That's why I practiced it. That's why I do understand that it needs to be practiced in time, in your time. So a couple things before I close the video out is, one, yes, wherever you are on the planet, you are meant to be there, 100%. Because if you weren't where you are, then you would be meant to be somewhere else. In other words, you wouldn't be where you are. Please understand that. Number two, radical acceptance is a huge part of the healing path. Please understand it. Take your time. And believe that you can't change the past. And the relationship you were in, or maybe the loss of a loved one, meaning a death in the family or something like that. I like to be a positive person, but I have to be real. Yeah, you practice radical acceptance. Or if you haven't, and if you're still grieving over someone that, let's say hypothetically, this isn't the narcissist, by the way. Let's say that someone passed 10 years ago and you still can't quite get over it. You need to do some work. You need to actually slow down, process that that person is not on the planet, grieve for them, and then let them go, because that will free you up. Maybe that's why you're stuck if you're stuck. And I'm kind of getting off topic here, but my point is, if someone does pass, you need to grieve properly in time, in your time. Practice radical acceptance. Yes, they're not coming back. Yes, maybe you'll see them again somewhere else, meaning in the future, somewhere in source energy or the cosmic field or somewhere, whatever your beliefs are, but that they're not here right now and they're not coming back here right now. So that's my point. You need to understand that practicing radical acceptance is a good thing. It's difficult to do at first, but it's a good thing. But if you haven't healed from the loss of a loved one from years ago, you need to do it, because maybe that's why you're stuck. Sorry for that part, but I just want to educate you guys, because listen, you can't be living in the past, and you certainly can't be living in the future. You need to live in the present moment, which is with me right here, right now on this video, watching me just like I'm watching you. It's exactly where you're meant to be. It's exactly where all your energy and focus should be. That is called living life. Guys, I hope you liked the video. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great evening. Stay blessed, stay true, stay on the path. Practice radical acceptance if you can. You can if you put your mind to it. And maybe some of you already have. Please drop comments below. Let me know. No matter where you are on the planet, I want to let you know two things. One, you are not alone. You are not. No matter where you are, you're not alone. And number two, I love you more than words can say. God bless you. I love you. Have a great evening. Stay blessed, stay true, and I will talk to you tomorrow. God bless you. Have a great evening. Good night.